Hi everyone, my name is Julia Stoner and this is my personal leadership philosophy presentation. So over the course of this video I'm just going to be explaining what I feel I've learned about myself in the last couple months, not only as an individual but both as a leader. So I'm going to start this off with a couple stories. At the beginning of May, I found out that my mom was diagnosed with cancer for the second time. As you can imagine, this situation is super difficult on me, especially my parents are living back in BC and I'm here in Edmonton. So being away from home right now is really tough. I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm going to get real upset, start crying. That's not a good time. But we are kind of facing the best case scenario right now. She's responding really well to the chemo. She gets surgery at the end of the month. So all of us, the whole family and the doctors, were all really optimistic about it. So that's kind of a good thing. Secondly, while all this was happening, towards the middle of May, I broke up with my boyfriend of 4 years. So that was really tough on me as well, letting go of a relationship of any kind, whether it be a romantic relationship, a friendship. It's really hard to lose, not only your best friend, but your second half, and that person that's always been there. So with that going on, especially everything with my mom not having him there was definitely one of the harder things. So the month of May was not one of my best times, but with that being said, I do really feel like I was able to pull through, and I'm actually in a position right now where I'm probably the happiest I've ever been despite the situations. Again, with that being said, I think the number one thing I've learned about myself is that I am so much stronger of a person than I thought I was. So kind of in my late teens as a teenager, I was really good at getting myself down in the dumps and really dwelling on things and thinking that nothing's ever going to get better. I'm so sad. Woe is me all the time. I've matured definitely a lot over the last few years, and especially in the last couple months, I really had to pull myself out of that sad place and think, what can I do to make this better? How can I move on from this? So I found that the number one thing I did was I was able to use a more positive mindset, kind of reframe and accept things for the way they were. And then I figured out how I was able to move on from that. So with my mom, there wasn't really too much I can do about it. I've been visiting at home as much as I can. I talk to her as much as I can. All I can do is be there for her for support and, motivation and encouragement to get through the hard times, because there is light at the end of the tunnel, and I keep telling her that. I keep telling myself that. So that's really helped me through. Also, with the breakup and everything, I learned from that I had to let go of some not so great friendships, and I started surrounding myself with a lot better people who were just, such a good time to be around. I've been keeping myself as busy as I can, and I feel like that's really worked out for me. So again, in comparison to kind of the person that I used to be, I feel I'm so much stronger, and strong is not a word I would have ever used to describe myself. So I'm honestly really proud to say that I found that quality. So again, I'd say that's the number one thing that I've learned about myself. Secondly, I've really learned that I'm really trustworthy and dependable. I hope that doesn't sound cocky, but that is honestly truly how I feel. I've definitely realized it over the last few weeks. I feel I've had a lot of friends kind of come to me, whether they just want a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen to whatever's going on, or they're looking for advice. I've had a lot of people coming to me for that, whether we're close or we're not. So that does really make me feel good about myself, that people can depend on me as a friend and they feel they can trust me with something, whether they don't want to tell anybody else or whatever the situation may be. So I feel that relates as well in my work kind of atmosphere. I've talked about this several times in the forums about my job and how I often find myself in a leadership position. I also feel like I'm a really dependable individual because people will always come to me for help because they know I'm never going to turn them down. I'm going to do as much as I can to help them 100% to make their job easier, make their night easier, or whatever it may be. So secondly, that again, those are some things that I feel I've learned about myself. Another good quality I think I've learned about myself is that I really, really care about about boosting people's confidence and making them feel better about themselves. And that makes me so happy to say, because I feel I've made a really good career choice as a PFT, because, that's the number one thing that I got into it for, because I do want to make people feel better about themselves. Once again, I've talked about this in the forum at work. I do everything that I can to boost team morale, whether it's, bringing the team together, kind of setting goals for everybody, or helping people out as much as I can, giving them compliments, thanking them for their help. I just really feel like the little things go a long way, because those types of things go a long way for me when people do them for me. I think even the smallest of compliments can just turn somebody's day around. So once again, I've talked about this several times in the forum, but at work, I do often find myself in a leadership position, and I have also mentioned this before in the forum, but I always really go out of my way to, thank the girls for all their hard work every night. And, if I can kind of sense that they're having a bit of a down day, I go out of my way to, share a compliment. And not only at work, but I try and do that every day, whether it's, to one of my closest friends or to my mom, or even the cashier at the grocery store saying something nice. I truly believe that the smallest of compliments can turn somebody's day around. So that is another thing that I feel I've learned about myself, is that I truly, truly care about making people feel better about themselves. So kind of to tie all this together and bring it to an end, I feel like all of these qualities are things that I've always admired in leaders, and that I think I have now found in myself. With the strength, being dependable, being committed, and, really trying to boost people's self-esteem. I think, when you're looking up to a leader, and if you see that they don't have these qualities, I'm not 100% sure that you're able to trust them as a leader, because if you don't see that strength in the leader, you might not feel like you have that strength in yourself. If you don't feel like you can depend on the leader, that they're there for you, you're going to have a really hard time trusting them, and I don't really think that ever has turned out well for any kind of leader, any kind of leadership position. So I'm happy to say that I really feel like I hold all these qualities, and I do really hope that they benefit me, not only in my day-to-day life as a person, but also in my future as a PFT, or as a leader, or as, anything in general. So I think I'm running out of time here. Thanks for watching.